Avatar 2. Yeah, right. No, what we're talking about today is Avatar: The Way of Water. The Fire and Ash movie is going to be released next month, so I might as well make a review about the second movie. Sorry it took so long. Been on a league grind for like about a month, and I realized that I really need to finish this video. Do you care? No? Alright then. Hold on, let me go to my proper attire real quick. Alright, here we go. More appropriate for this video. This movie is a long overdue sequel from our favorite director, James Cameron. Cameron, what have you been doing? Seriously, what have you been doing? Also, why make a sequel anyways? Sequels are really hard to live up to expectations, especially when it's from a beloved franchise. Well, to an extent. As I said from the previous video, nobody really gives a shit about the original movie. Despite being a critically acclaimed and make over $1 billion, twice. I don't know. My mom really likes this movie, even though she is more of a TLC movie style kind of person. You know, realistic to an extent. I'm getting sidetracked here. Honestly though, I never really thought the sequel would be released until I saw a sneak peek trailer when I watched that Minion movie in theaters. I was shocked seeing how good the water effects are. I was pretty excited to see this new Navi kit and the whale that was harpoon attached to it. Alright Cameron, I'm on board. Let's see if the movie lived up to its expectations. It did not meet those expectations. What's funny is that the movie was greenlit for a sequel back in 2010, but they never really got around to it. It took 13 years to finally release the movie. Around that time, a lot of significant events came and went, where the 2010s, the old YouTube was own can of worms. Multiple franchises pop up, the pandemic, and our favorite blue-haired girl that took over the world. Heck, my little brother was not even born when the first movie came out, and it's really funny to see his reaction and explain to him what the hell Avatar is. Everyone just collectively moves on with their life and just forget about this supposed franchise until Cameron breaks into your house and finally announces the trailer for the next movie in April of 2022, and released it in the same year. I have no idea what kind of marketing strategy this is. They did the same for Fire and Ash too. At least we don't have to wait over a year like most films do. But why does it take so long? A lot of sources I found all said different things, where Cameron being Cameron wants to improve the CGI of the movie and wait for the technology to catch up to for his expectations. Others claim that him and his writers wants to complete the scripts for the other movies before production of the second movie. And others say it's too fucking long to produce because Cameron wants the film to be in the water, and there is a lot of scenes that involves being underwater. It's pretty much production hell for a lot of the people that work on this movie. That's not a joke. I watched a documentary where a lot of actors, stunt doubles, and production teams pretty much had to learn how to swim, hold their breath for a long period of time when filming this movie. Pretty much any shot that involves in the water, they actually have to be in the water. I gotta say, I appreciate the work these people put in. With so much work put into this movie, why do I think this movie does not meet the hype or whatever hype there was for this movie? Let's dive in, shall we? Please don't. Just like the production time, there's a huge time skip between both movies. We got through a montage where our protagonists, Jake and Nadiri, go through life as of a Na'vi and raising 4 kids. Yes, Jake is a family man now, having 3 biological children and 1 adopted daughter. The time spent waiting for the sequel might as well not have been a time skip at all. And we are introduced to our new bundle of joys. We got Kiri, Neteyam, Loak, and Tuk. I have no idea how to pronounce any of these names correctly without messing up throughout the entire script, so I'm just saying along whatever I wrote down. The adopted daughter, Kiri, is actually Grace's daughter. Yes, that Grace. Yeah, apparently Grace has gotten freaky with her avatar body and actually had a child, which is actually unheard of at the time. Who's the father? The fuck should I know? Nor does Kiri. Her brother bet that it was Norm. Yeah, no.
Avatar driver.
You know, we should introduce Jake's family. Since we start off with Kiri, Kiri is an odd child of the bunch. She really loves nature, just like Grace. And there's actually a comic book series of this movie, a prequel as you will. I pretty much skimmed through it. I'm too lazy to read the whole comic and just spark note it. But it tells more of these characters' background than the movie does, to be honest. Trust me, it does. Yeah, like at a young age, Kitty was able to tame a banshee by just asking it to be her friend. At least she didn't violate the animal.
That's right. You're mine.
I thought that was sweet.
Too bad I got murked by the RDA. Yeah, her Banshee got killed in the war, and the Banshee that we saw in the movie is not even her Banshee. It didn't even explain where she got it from. She just tamed it off screen, which kind of ticks me off a bit, which I wish that we had the original Banshee to give more emotional impact, and I wish that her Banshee gets more screen time and more emotional moment. Who knows? She could have used it in like the obligatory final battle in that movie. I'm getting ranty here. Hold on, where was I? All right.
She has a strong spiritual connection to the AWOL. Even the animal seems to gravitate towards her and able to control them without violating their cues. And by the way, those little hair strands are called cues. She is like the avatar version of Lisa Thornberry. Next is Neteyam, Jake's oldest son. And I didn't realize this, but until I did my research, but the hybrid Na'vi, like Jake and his children, are literally hybrids. Like, they have hair on their eyebrows, and extra finger on each hand and feet. I feel like a complete dumbass for not noticing it in the first place, even after multiple rewatches of the first movie. But not Neteyam though, he is a special child. Not to insult the other children, but I guess it's a genetic thing that possesses strong Na'vi genes, or Neteri cheated. I don't want to get into that conspiracy. He is a kind-hearted older brother and doesn't look down on his siblings for having these hybrid traits. Whenever his accident-prone brother Loak gets into trouble, he steps in and takes the blame, being the star child he is, and it kind of makes his brother kind of resent him. So much weight is resting on his shoulders, not because he's the oldest son, but he's the chief's son, and that responsibility that comes with it. Next, we have Loak, and it seems like Loak is the black sheep of the family, more so than his hybrid siblings.
Loak doesn't feel like he fits in anywhere, and it's just like kind of sad to see him through this character arc. Like, he tries to prove himself.
He feels like an outcast and distant from his family and his clan. He is very insecure and gets himself into trouble to get his parents' attention. Middle child syndrome, am I right? And finally, we have Took. Took is the youngest of the bunch. And I got to be honest here, I really do not care for this character. She really doesn't have much of a significance in this movie other than a MacGuffin for our main characters to save. And I guess a little sister figure for our general audience to care about, but she kind of sucks as a character. Keep getting herself into trouble, getting captured twice in the same scene.
I can't believe I'm tying up again.
I swear to Christ though, she is much more of a hindrance to the family, you little piece of shit. Oh, and I forgot one more person in the family, and they have a human child named Spider. I may not like Took, but I really do not like the inclusion of Spider. But his origin story is kind of badass. Spider was introduced as the first child to be born in Pandora. His parents as Paz Socorro and Colonel Quad Rich himself. Yes, that guy. My favorite character in the last movie had a child and left him orphaned. And yes, I said orphan because his mom was the pilot in the last war and was killed by taking an arrow to the knee. And we know what happened to the colonel. I have no idea why the scientists never really take care of him. I guess they have more important things to do than raising a child. Spider is literally Tarzan, raised and learned the ways of the Na'vi. To feel included, he would braid his hair to dreads and paint his skin with blue stripes. I have a whole segment making fun of it, how he's a weak character, but doing my homework and research about him makes me feel bad for him. I wish they elaborated his backstory better so that he doesn't come off as a Florida man. Though it's kind of crazy to see him getting mind. And now we go to Jake. He's definitely approved as a character, though in my opinion, he did get kind of sidelined and does his own thing, whereas his children are the main focus. Which, hey, I'm not complaining. He did his duty in the first movie, and now he is passing the mantle to his children. Especially Loak. Loak definitely has his arc set up in this movie, for being a rebel problem child to holding the weight of responsibility at the end of the movie. But hey, Jake's character did improve in the movie, though he still monologues.
Happiness is simple. But who would have thought a jarhead like me could crack the code? It goes by too fast. The leader must die, so the leader can be born. One life ends, another begins. Please stick together. That was our greatest weakness and our great strength.
I got family.
Ohana means family.
I wish I could say anything positive for Neteri though. Oh man, Neteri. She used to have this big part in the first movie, being Jake's teacher and future lover. I can't believe I skimmed over her character in the last video.
but her contribution in the film is like almost non-existent. She is a brave and strong character in the first film, always curious and doing anything to protect her tribe. Now that Jake got everything handled, she is reduced to being second in command and later a mopey housewife. I mean, it makes sense. She lost her home, the RDA created a total takeover in Pandora, and her children were almost killed by a group of Avatar spec ops. What's funny is that there is no bigger hater to Spider than Neytiri herself. Despite Jake and the other kids accepting Spider as one of their own, Neytiri is a hardcore racist and doesn't see him as one of them. Hell, she even used him as a bargaining chip in exchange to get her kids back. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Yeah, the RDA are back and with vengeance. It's pretty much a total conquest of Pandora, a war between the Na'vi and the humans. What's even crazier is that Colonel Quadrich came back, but an avatar. My favorite character in the movie became the one thing he swore to destroy. Welcome to the club, buddy. Wait, how the hell is he still alive? We saw him got killed. Well, you see, the RDA has their own contingency plan where they store his memory on a memory card and transport it to an avatar body that was growing back on Earth, just in case that he kicked the bucket, as if they have full confidence that he will fill the takeover of the last movie. What a bunch of bitch. This is some coincidence and kind of defeats the whole purpose and speciality of Jake's situation. It already leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't really explain well why I love Colonel so much as well from the last video. It is because he is in a dilemma where he has to choose between the best for humanity or helping Jake. He knows what he's doing is wrong, but he gave the Na'vi so much opportunity to relocate them.
Well. I'd say diplomacy has failed.
But he doesn't really have a choice and choose humanity's survival. He'll look out for Jake and promise him to get his legs back, but he feels betrayed by Jake, so he is pretty much acting out of emotion and anger. So him coming back really hurts the overall impact of his death in the first movie. But hey, at least he is still charming.
Now, I know you're all asking yourselves the same question. Why so blue?
Well, the Colonel's job is to capture Jake and bring him back to the base because Jake keeps raiding their cargo trains and foiling their excavation sites. I do find it funny that the guns and rockets they obtain are literally Na'vi size. I wish to see them carry a tiny assault rifles as well. Now, why do the RDA come back? Well, they're going to terraform Pandora as the next spot for human civilization. Like I said in the previous video, Earth is dying and the government is getting more involved in the invasion of Pandora. Now, I got one question. Why? Why do you want to terraform Pandora? Listen, the air is not breathable, and there is no way for humans to survive in Pandora. Unless they decided to dome their city, even then it will be no different than being on Earth. There is no logical sense for humans to live on Pandora unless they want to make it a company town where these greedy are there just for its resources, including unobtainium, which seems more plausible but really stupid. I don't know, I think Elon's plan to colonize Mars would be a much easier for humanity's survival than what the fuck these bozos are doing. But there is another valuable resource that the RDA wants, that is an anti-aging liquid called Amrita, which is a natural production of the brain fluid that which these will-like creatures known as Tulkun produce. It's highly sought after for its ability to completely stop human aging, making it the most profitable resources in Pandora. And that tips me off because, at least in the first movie, they have a reason why they want to mine for unobtainium. This is just corporate greed. This is so stupid. I'm not going through this beat by beat. The movie's too long and I'm just too lazy to do more than a 20-minute video. And just like Hangover, if you saw the first movie, you definitely saw the second one. Training montage, gain Na'vi crying scene, RDA mining valuable material from Pandora, obligatory final battle, yet less epic, same antagonist, and even tries to replicate the tree scene by showing Colonel burning down the island of neighboring water Na'vi tribes. Yeah, the same, except for one difference, and it's the introduction of the water Na'vi. The one thing I do give Cameron credit is the expansion of the universe. In the first movie, we will only see the tree Na'vi tribes with relatively similar designs. But in this movie, the water Na'vi has more wavy hair, lighter blue-green skin, denser arm and leg structure, including their tail.
I love the world building in this movie, making Pandora more expansive, more alive as you will. I do have a nitpick though, like, why do they speak the same language? Like, I get it. You don't want your audience to read subtitles throughout the entire movie, but even then, how do they learn English? Upon my research, apparently it's a clever storytelling tool that Cameron whipped up that Jake waved off that learning the Navi language is pretty much speaking English. But, which, hey, makes sense, I guess. But like, seriously, it may sound stupid, but in the real world, not every country speaks the same language. Hell, not even Native Americans on different tribes don't speak the same language. Cameron makes their language universal, which doesn't make it realistic. The movie isn't realistic, but I just can't help it. The movie is alright, but it's definitely not as good as the first one. I would even say it's more forgettable. I have not watched the movie since its release, and only now that I have watched it for this video. It's still kind of crazy that this movie makes another billion for Cameron and Disney. Wait, Disney? You know what? That makes sense. Funny enough, Disney doesn't even own the rights to Avatar until like 2017 or 2019. So good old Disney missed out on the first box office success, but it got its second chance with this movie. I think Disney prayed that the Avatar will be another billion-dollar franchise because Disney track records with other properties like Star Wars and Marvel are going downhill. How do you fuck up this badly? They need this movie to succeed, and since the next one is literally coming up soon, or now, depending on when I decide to release this video, I just think The Way of Water is just another fluke because it was released 2 years after the great toilet paper crisis of 2020, just like in 2009 where it was released a year after the recession. Hold on. We are in another crisis right now, and I believe Cameron should postpone this movie a year after whatever the fuck is happening right now. Let's say the tariff crisis of 2025. I mean, by the time I finished the script, the movie was not released yet, so I have no idea what the next plot's going to be. The third movie would be another billion-dollar film, but since this is outrageous inflation and people are more frugal with their spendings right now, I don't think the third film will even reach $1 billion. I don't think it would flop, but I just don't think it will reach $1 billion. Whatever the case may be, I am riding this wave, or ashes at this point, and heading over to the next sequel. See you in the next review.